We on? Okay. Thanks everybody for, did we let everybody in and we're good to go. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about just one thing tonight, and that is how to find us in camp each day. So
Making your
the
way to Alexandria, which is
process in the past
miles
has
down the
been
road.
fairly we've used a lot of the same processes in the past. We've had locations cards, we've had maps that Bob Reebok has made for us. And then what people have relied on traditionally are the signs. They may not pay attention to any of those other ways, but then when they would ride into town, they would look for the pork belly signs that were posted on the signposts. For RAGBRAI veterans, this is going to be very familiar to you. That has changed this year. We're no longer able to put signs on posts. No charters are. When you ride into town, the only signs you're going to see are the official, I believe they're orange, rider route signs that are the RAGBRAI signs that will take you to the official RAGBRAI campground. So you'll know by following those yellow or orange signs rather that you're on the rider route, but that won't necessarily take you to the Pork Belly campground. Okay. And so what you need to do is when you get into each town is be able to find us. And I honestly believe that once we all get used to this new way, it's going to be better because some of the methods that we have had in the past, even, and definitely some of the things that we've developed with the help from some of the people you're going to hear from later tonight, um, are better, I believe, better and safer than trying to find a pork belly sign on a signpost that's filled with 100 other charter signs and very well, you have all these visual distractions around you of riding into a RAGBRAI overnight town, which is, all set up for a party and all sorts of displays and kids selling lemonade and everything. So I think we're going to be in a better place once we get used to it, but we have to get used to it. So the purpose of tonight is just to help you be prepared. And just so you know, the first day is by no means a measure of how you're going to find us every day. In Milford, when you ride from Orange City to Milford, you're going to ride in on the rider route, and Pork Belly Ventures is the very first thing you're going to see. We are right.
It's right by the main campground, so the orange signs will literally.
The orange
take
signs are
you
going
to
to take
us.
you right there.
Yeah.
Don't think every day is going to be like that. That's not going to be
Yeah.
that's not the metric by which you can gauge the rest of the week. Okay. So it's going to be more difficult on day two in Esterville, for example, will be more difficult. So, um, we're kind of going to go low tech to higher tech, and we know that we're all different and we all have different aptitudes and different preferences on these things, and so what we've tried to do here is give you multiple ways to find us. I even came up with another way. I haven't even told you guys
I
about
can't
it.
believe
It's a
it.
new way.
There's
to find
another
us.
way.
Best way. It's going to be the best way of all of them. But
Well, we should talk about safety for just a second, don't you think, too?
yeah, and safety too, because one of the things is whether you're looking at a signpost or trying to read a map or something, we want you to be safe. So we would rather that you stop your bicycle when you're coming into town and figure out where your next turn's going to be than to keep riding.
Or try to look down at a map while you're riding, or try to read a cue sheet while you're
Right,
riding.
right.
We really want to discourage people from doing that so that now if you got the ride with GPS going on and it's talking to you or it's beeping when your next turn comes up, then that's to us very safe.
Yeah.
But if you have to look down at a map, or if you have to look down at your cue sheets or something, or your locations card, it's better to just take that precaution of pulling over, stopping,
Stop it.
and get your next couple of turns maybe in your head and then continue.
Sometimes we've had people who have, ridden all around town trying to find us. They got off route and we know that after riding 70 miles on your bicycle, the last thing you want to do is ride 5 more around town. We know
Right.
how frustrating that can be.
Yeah.
And so that's the purpose of this is to try to make it. So the ways that you can find us. Number one, when you check in Orange City, you'll be given, we call it our locations card. And it's a small little business size card. On one side, there's 4 towns. On the back side, there's the other 4 towns of our location in each town. So for Milford, it might say we are at Heritage Memorial Park, not Heritage Park. We're at Memorial Park in Milford. It'll have the address. And so when you ride in, one strategy can be is I know we're at Memorial Park in Milford. So all I have to do is when I see a local selling lemonade, I'm gonna say, hey, where's Memorial Park? And they'll tell me, keep riding down, turn left on whatever, if you're willing to trust that person. But that's one way to find us is those locations cards. It's got our address on it. You can ask a local when you're in town, okay? It's got a hole pre-punched in it. And we'll give you the little zip tie. You can zip tie it to your bike. You can put it in your wallet, but again, we wouldn't recommend that you stop, look at that, or maybe think about, reading it before you take off from the previous town and kind of have a rough idea where you're going. The other way you can find us is our maps. We have, Bob Reebok for years and he's on tonight, he'll speak in a minute. He has created the maps that for you veteran riders you've been able to see and use before. Those have been published. We've sent those to you. You can print them if you're old school, or you can take a picture of them on your phone and just have access. And what I would recommend is that you think about where we are in town, look at where the rider route comes into town, and you say, okay, we're coming in from this southeast, looks like Pork Belly Camp is kind of on the northeast of town. So I know I'm going to kind of have to work my way through town. We recommend that you follow the route that's on the map. We've worked with those, Bob and Tammy and I have worked with and Becca have worked with those routes with the towns. The towns have approved those routes. Those are safe roads to ride on. We don't want you to ride off that route because you could end up on a alternate route where there's going to be truck traffic or high vehicle traffic that might not be as safe. So don't use your phone to route it, the quickest way to get there. Sometimes you may circle a block and that seems like extra riding, but go on the route that the map tells you to go because that's the safest way to get there. They may have road closed due to RAGBRAI, or they may have, streets that they're directing vehicle traffic to that won't be safe for you to be on. So please use those routes. And again, trying to address people with what they're wanting and willing to do. Every day at the front desk, we will have a copy of that map taped to the front desk. So if nothing else, you can walk up with your phone, you can take a picture of that map. Somebody made the recommendation at the crew meeting tonight that make that your screensaver. Then you don't even have to fire up your phone each day.
Every day you're making it your screensaver.
You're making that day's map your screensaver. Then you just you can look at your phone even without firing it up, and it'll have the map on it. In addition to that, we're going to print the turn-by-turn directions. Okay, that will,
we'll call it a cue sheet.
A cue sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it the cue sheet. But that'll give you your turn-by-turn. You're not going to need any maps until you get to the edge of town. Okay, we know that the maps that Daniel's created will start you from one overnight location and take you to the next overnight location. The reality is, once you get on the road with RAGBRAI, there's thousands of people up the road, thousands of people behind you. It's really difficult to get lost while you're on the official rider route. It's only when you get, to the edge of town where you have to start thinking about where am I going. And so that's when whatever you're going to do is going to play an important part, whether it's the Bob Reebok map, which only gives you directions from the edge of town.
And the cue sheets.
And the cue sheets will only take you from the edge of town. To the Ride with GPS files, which will basically take you from one campground to the other. Now you can start your computer, your Garmin, or your phone up when you get to the edge of town if you don't want to have it talking to you or give you burn battery that whole distance.
This is one thing I didn't think of is you can just turn it off. You don't have to worry about it while you're riding from the morning town to the the next overnight town. Pay no attention to it. Just go with the flow, stop at the food vendors, get back on the road. It's so clear. But you only have to really turn it on then when you come to the edge of town and you need those last few turns.
But again, stop, turn it on, get oriented, then proceed. Don't be doing a bunch of stuff while you're trying to ride with other cyclists around you.
Yep.
Okay, so the final way, the second to final way to find us is going to be the Ride with GPS files. And what this involves is you can either have, if you have a Garmin computer, we've seen a couple hundred people or more have already downloaded all the maps since we sent out the email yesterday. So we know there's those of riders among us who are already familiar with the technology and and getting, they're already there. But for those of you that aren't there, it's really pretty simple. You have to download an app. You have to create a Ride with GPS account, download the app, and then you log in and to access our account. I'll let Daniel get into how to, but it's really very simple to get the maps
And
onto your
today
phone.
you just did a dummy one, right?
I
You
just did.
yourself.
I decided to try
Yeah.
it myself. I've
Yeah.
used and full disclosure, I've used the app a few years ago. I hadn't done it since, so I'm old enough for my memory. It's like a clean slate at this point. So I was able but it goes very slickly. What we have in place is really slick, and it'd be very easy for you
Thanks
to
to
do.
Daniel.
Thanks to Daniel. Yeah. And so, the final way and the
I have
best.
one after that.
You got another one.
I got another one.
Okay.
But you go.
So we got 5 ways. Okay.
Yeah.
So my way is that Bob Reebok made the maps.
Yes.
Daniel made the Ride with GPS
Yes.
files. Every morning,
Follow Bob or Daniel.
follow Bob and Daniel.
I like it way better than my way.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, that would be very cool.
1,500 people.
Yeah.
All
Just
of them.
following Bob and Daniel. I love it. Yeah.
We could have we'd have to have bathroom stops for everybody. I'd say
Yep. Yeah.
I
Well,
think we
the
could-
cake vendor's gonna be really
the
busy.
pork belly
Yeah.
Pied Piper. We'd follow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the 6th way, are we on 6 now?
Yeah. Well, I was asking.
Okay, the 6th way is that RAGBRAI has actually sent out or published a map of where all charters are located in all towns. And every charter is gonna have that map at their desk. We're gonna be helping people other than pork belly riders, like people lost souls who come into camp. We're gonna be helping them find their way to other places. And if you stumble across any campsite, I mean, I feel like you should be able to walk up and say, hey, do you guys have that charter map where you can tell me where Pork Belly Ventures is located? So that might be another good one. It's probably not as good as Pete's, but it's another way. Okay, so
Okay.
now we're ready
All right,
to
so
introduce.
the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have Bob Reebok, like we said, he's the pork cartographer. We
For
call him pork
cartographer.
cartographer,
Yes, he is.
which is a little bit difficult to say. He's gonna talk for a few minutes about his maps, and then we're gonna have Katie, who is our app developer. For those of you who have downloaded the Pork Belly app to your smartphone, she has worked very hard to make these maps available by way of the app. She'll talk to you about that for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a little bit longer period of time for Daniel to explain, hopefully step by step, the process by which somebody who's like me and Tammy, not the best with this stuff, be able to start from scratch.
Mhm.
And
I'm the one who didn't include the link on the first update, so I'm worse than Pete, but yes, as bad as.
just a
we are, yeah.
teeny little bit. So
Okay.
anyway,
So let's
so let's switch over and have Bob. Bob, can you give us a?
We always introduce him as Bob from New Jersey, but he's actually Maryland now, and he rode with us many years ago, and he's coming back to ride with us this year. And he's made our maps for many years, and we think they're outstanding maps. So take it away, Bob Reebok.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Greetings from Maryland's Eastern Shore, where there's also corn, if you saw the picture in the email that Tammy sent out yesterday. So yeah, in 2010, I did RAGBRAI with a bike club from New Jersey, and it was probably, let's see, I think we were in Algona or Clear Lake, and Tammy sat down with us after we finished our ride and we were having our lunch. And, she was doing a little bit of customer service and asked us how it was going. And we had gotten lost trying to get into town because we missed a sign on a telephone pole. And we eventually found our way to camp. And because I had work at a newspaper and did a lot of maps, I suggested what would be helpful is if I knew going in where where the campground was and had a map, we could do maps and show people the route. So in 2011 was the first year that we did the maps, Glenwood to Davenport, and we work with the towns. We have a detail of where the campground. We also include shuttle routes and shuttle stops on the map. So, I mean, they serve a good purpose, whether you take them on your ride or not. print them out, go to your local Staples or Office Max, get them laminated so your sweaty bike clothes don't make them deteriorate in your tent. We have added a new feature this year, which is a QR code, which links to the app and also the ride with GPS.
Is it a read?
And that will help. And Katie and Dan will be talk more about the ride with GPS and the app, but the PDF file of the map, the QR codes are also a link to the ride with GPS website. So if you have it on your phone, you can always call up the map. It works in the app. It works if you just have a PDF on your phone. And there's a lot of other helpful information on the map, the route profile for the day, where the pass-through towns are and what the mileage is between the pass-through towns. So use your maps.
Thanks. Are we live? Okay, so thanks, Bob. And also, if you reserved indoor sleeping with Pork Belly Ventures, you'll find the location of the indoor sleeping is also on the map of our campsite, and that's kind of useful too. And thank you, Bob.
Yep.
2010, and now we're in 2025, and Bob is
He's
still
back.
doing our maps, and he's riding with us
Right.
again. That's great. So now I think we're ready.
Ready?
Katie.
Yeah,
talk to us.
and I rode with Bob. I was not with you, Bob, but I did. The last time I rode was 2010.
Oh my God.
And I'm hoping to do it next year. Okay, I'm going to try to make this quick. Becca, can I share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay. I think this might be, do you see the app?
Yep, we can see your entire screen.
Sorry about that. I don't know what
That's
else to
okay.
do. You can ignore my messy screen, okay? But basically, this is the Pork Belly app. We're going to go to RAGBRAI, and this year pretty much put everything we could all about apps, all right? And the first button there is, I'm not going to push everything in the interest of time, but those are the RAGBRAI route maps. With the PDF apps, there are maps that are Bob's, you can see each one is available. And let's just go to, for instance, day one. And there's different ways. I use a software that allows you to download it. You can take a screenshot and save them into your own on your phone so that they're accessible without the internet. And there's another form of the maps is in what I call a book format, and you can just kind of go through them. This may be a little slow on Zoom, but it just allows you to weave through them. Okay. And then I'm going to go down to before I get to the GPS maps, I gotta move this. Sorry, that's in the way, but I think down at the bottom I put in the shuttle bus location maps. All right. So you've got everything there, and what's new this year is, as we all know, are the GPS maps. And you guys maybe do not know this today, but with the help of Dan and the RWGPS folks, we now the Pork Belly app is connected directly to the Ride With Us app, so that when you tap Ride With Us, don't worry about all these instructions. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but just know these two things when you're dealing with the Pork Belly app. Just make sure you've downloaded the Ride With Us GPS app. And once that's on your phone, when you pick these 3 events, and you'll learn about this, and Dan's going to talk about it, I'm going to go to all I need to do is I tap the App Store button and open it. It's already on my phone. And there I am. I picked the organizations, Pork Belly, and there are the events. And so I'm going to go to the road, and there I am. And now understand, I'm in the RWGPS app. I'm off the Pork Belly app, and so it's really convenient. And so now I can do what all that Dan is going to talk about. All right. So it's that simple. It's pretty good. Download that RWGPS app, join, and there'll be a step where you need to, you'll be automatically approved. And I think Becca will love that, right? Automatically approved because of the nature of the links that have been set up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Any questions? Any thoughts on this?
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, what I'd like to is get through Daniel
Yeah,
and then
we're
we'll
gonna go for
we'll
Dan.
open it up for questions
Yeah.
and they can ask either Bob,
Katie,
Katie or Daniel
or
a specific questions.
So
Yeah.
thanks a million, Katie.
Okay, yeah.
Katie,
Well, it's a team effort. It's been amazing.
Katie came to us. We didn't know we needed an app. We just thought, well, we're just doing what we do. And Katie said, no, you have you could make a very robust app about Pork Belly Ventures. Really, Katie? So she made it for us, and she's still tweaking it and doing more and more things all the time.
Well, you're a word merchant, and we're able to load the app with all that wonderful editorial information that you provide. And there's a lot to be done in the next, 5 days with our week in the corn, etc.
That's right. Oh, we should just say that one moment. Dan is waiting and he's going to have the bulk of the information and the important information for today. But we should just say that Katie is going to be sending out notifications every day about what's waiting for you in Port Camp. So if you don't have our app, be sure to get it because there'll be a lot of phones dinging on the road at the same time. And everybody will be looking at what's waiting for you in Port Camp today. It's all about the vendors that are waiting with their food, what's on the dinner plate tonight, who's playing on stage, and what's for breakfast tomorrow morning.
But don't look at it while you're writing.
Don't look at it writing. Yeah, stop
Right.
and look at it.
Yeah.
And without further ado, we should go to.
I would just like to add that
Oh.
every good idea we've ever had
Came from somebody else.
somebody else.
So true.
Okay, so Dan, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, all
All
you.
right, should be sharing. Somebody confirm you got me.
Not yet.
See if it's convinced now.
It's working on it. There we go.
All right, very good. Okay, so the first thing I do want to say very quick is, Katie, that was very slick. I know that a lot went into the integration between the Pork Belly app and Ride with GPS, so that's very cool. I'm thrilled to see that. So, Pork Belly Ventures, Ride with GPS for RAGBRAI 52. Or, how am I going to find Pork Camp without signs? So, make sure I didn't just break something. Did I just break something? Hope we're still seeing that. All right, so setup. Before coming to Iowa, first thing you got to know, is I'm Dan. I've done 3 RAGBRAIs to date, 49, 50, and 51, all with Pork Belly Ventures. In those previous years, I've done Ride with GPS directions for my friends and I. This year's a little more formal with the prohibition of the end town signage. Ride with GPS provides directions now from campsite to campsite, so though you will have to do a little preparation to use it. Before coming to Iowa, you'll want to get the Ride with GPS app, a free account, join the Pork Belly Ventures tour operator account, join our events, and save the routes to your phone or to your cycle computer. So first off, that Ride with GPS and a free account. You want to go to Ride with GPS and create a free account and get the app on your phone, either via the App Store or the Google Play Store. Once you've done that, you'll want to join Charter. If you follow the links that are shared, you should be automatically approved into the Pork Belly Ventures Ride with GPS account. If not, your membership will be pending approval from me or another administrator. And you do that via hitting the Apply to Join button, sign up, and then you'll be awaiting that approval. Or again, if you hit the link that we provided, you'll be in without a justification or requirement there. So then the next step, you'll need to join the events. So you'll want to join your Pork Belly Ventures RAGBRAI events. You may want to ride back from the tire dip or out and back to it. I want to point out this is not a sanctioned route. This is something that I created because I plan to do it. Beyond that, you will likely want to choose the road or gravel. So how do you do that? As a Pork Belly Ventures Ride with GPS member, you will see the Pork Belly Ventures under organizations in the Ride with GPS app. You'll choose events, choose your event, and then click join event. And then you will want to download or pin your routes. If you don't have a cycle computer, you'll want to download your routes. Now, in my experience, these download at, I love this definition, about 35 miles per minute. And the set of either road or gravel is about 517 miles. Don't worry, that's if you do both the regular day 3 route and the Century. That's your choice, that's on you. On strong Wi-Fi, that'll take about 15 minutes of downloading. And we don't want to think about what it would be like downloading over cellular data in Orange City a week from Saturday now, which is why we're encouraging you to download these now. If you have a Wahoo, a Garmin, Hammerhead, or another Ride with GPS compatible cycle computer, you can pin your routes and sync to your cycle computer to follow the routes on there. So again, when you're downloading the routes, the 3 dots in the upper right, download all the routes. It'll go through that download process, or you can download individual routes by choosing the 3 dots next to each individual route and download for offline. And I note also here is you have the option to pin, and that will show here as a pin and or a check mark. Check mark says it's downloaded, and the pin is obviously pinned. So that's it. You're ready for Iowa. Now then, let's think ahead a little bit. It's Sunday morning, July 20th. You have all your routes downloaded. Now it's go time. What do you need to do to navigate? So you will open the Ride with GPS app on your phone. I'm presuming that you're doing this on your phone. And you'll choose Library. You'll choose to sort by location, and the nearest routes will rise to the top. You'll choose the 3 dots next to your desired route and click Navigate. If your phone's volume is up, you will pretty much immediately hear navigation start. And as you'll ride, you'll hear announcements such as caution for tracks, turn left at 120th Street, etc., all the way to the next campsite. If you find yourself off route, you'll hear a discordant ding. And then if you pull out your phone, you'll see an option to return to the route. And I have one final note is that you can put your phone on battery save if desired without impacting this navigation. It will continue to keep you on track. And that's it. Y'all ready for this? Anybody ready for this? Tammy, Pete, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
All right.
We're ready.
Hey.
So just one thing.
Okay,
He went through that a little bit quick because we
Right.
asked him to just got to, but this has all been videotaped
yeah,
and we're gonna link it in an email. We'll send,
Yeah.
it'll be up at the site so that
And
if
then-
you wanna watch it again.
and then is there any way we can link to his slide deck? Okay, we're gonna figure that out.
Yep.
too. So his whole set of slides will be available to you as well.
Right.
And then what I wanted to tell you guys about Daniel is I didn't know he'd only been with us for 3 years, but he came to my attention because he was coming to Iowa with the bikes of about 15 people, his friends. And so that year I knew that Daniel was like a mensch, he's the kind of guy who helps out. He's the one who brings everybody's bikes to Iowa. And so I don't feel at all surprised that he's the guy who stepped up this year to also help us with Ride with GPS. And we really appreciate you, Daniel. We appreciate Katie. We appreciate Bob, these partners, and Becca, who's running this meeting and runs our. I could never do these things. Pete might be able to, but Could you?
It'd be better if I didn't.
probably couldn't do it either.
Be good.
So we depend on these people. And never has this stuff been more important than this year when we'll be without the signs, but we can all adjust to this and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's, how should we do
Should we do
questions?
some
Well,
questions?
we've got a few in the chat already that I'm
Okay.
hoping maybe Dan can see and answer, because they're over my head.
Okay.
All right.
Read the question out and maybe ask
Yeah,
Dan.
call them out to me, please.
Yeah.
Rush too.
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back up here. All right, so Steven said, I got an update on the Ride with GPS Pork Belly Venture routes this morning. Do I need to do anything on my Garmin bike computer or my iPhone Ride with GPS or Strava to update the previous version that he got yesterday, or will it auto update to multiple devices?
To the best of my knowledge, it will not auto update. You should be able to see the notes that I put in there. Those were very minor additions, largely. Basically, I added the Iowa Craft Beer Tent as a landmark along the route. I got those locations. So if
That
that's
was
important to
noted and
you,
appreciated by some people also.
awesome. So yes, and I will note that for the folks who are doing gravel, there are a few of those that the Iowa Craft Beer Tent is not on the gravel route. I've done my best to route over to and back as an optional segment.
Your own loop. Right, do your own loop.
Okay, another question. Is it possible to move a route from offline to pinned?
I'm not sure I quite understand that question. A route can be offline and pinned at the same time. They're basically independent statuses. So if you want it downloaded to your phone, then you'll want to do that offline option. If you want it pinned, it'll pin and then will be associated to your cycle computer. Case in point, I do both. I like to have it both spoken and have it on my speedometer.
Okay. Are the Ride with GPS files editable in the route planner?
I think that depends on your personal Ride with GPS account. I think the general answer is yes. You will lose at that point the
Mhm.
spoken aspect of it, but you can make a copy and edit if you want to make your own. And I don't know, perhaps you want to go see Minneapolis. You can go ahead and make that adjustment to your own.
Good.
Okay. Do we need to start the route in the morning? Or what happens if you start the route when you get to the edge of the end town? Will it figure it out and catch you up?
Um, that I haven't tried. What I can say is that on my cycle computer, if I start it anywhere but at the start of the route, it'll give me the option of routing me to the start, or I can choose no. And if I'm sitting on the route currently, it'll pretty quickly recognize, oh, hey, you're already there. You've got 5 miles to go, and it'll pick it up from there. Not sure how that works on the app on your phone in particular. What I will note is that you will lose from that the history of your route. I don't know if you want to put together a, hey, look, I did this nice route. There are some apps that'll stitch these things together and give you a nice overview or flyover of the route that you just rode. So
If
kind of up to you, but flexible. Go ahead. I think that was
yeah,
Bob.
Dan, if you are just using the Ride with GPS app and you're not using a separate bike computer,
Mhm.
wherever you turn the route on, your location dot will show up on the route and you can follow it from wherever you are till the end of the route.
Okay, have you tried that in fact? 'Cause I know if you're navigating it on your cycle computer, it'll give you that choice. I'm 5 miles in, but I want to go back to the start. It'll give you that option. Or I'm 5 miles in, I do not want to go back to the start, and the computer will pretty quickly recognize that you're already on the route and continue from there. I
Right.
bet the app does similar.
Right. I mean, the app just locates you where you are. If you call up the route, it locates you on the route. This is specifically the Ride with GPS app. Um,
Hmm.
I've used it before, and it does pick you up. I mean, like you said, if you start in the middle of the route, it doesn't give you credit for completing the whole route. It just wherever you sign on, if you're just using the route for directions, you can turn it on at any time and find out where you are on the route, and you can do it when you hit town, or you can turn it on say you're going from Orange City to Milford. The May City is the last town before you get to Milford. You can turn it on when you leave May City, and it'll guide you from May City all the way to Pork Belly's campsite.
Perfect.
Hey, Becca, just if I could have a chance, I wanted to chime in on something that I didn't say, and it might be relevant to this.
Okay.
Is that okay? And
Yeah.
of course, I want to share I neglected to say this. Can you see the app, the Pork Belly
Got it.
app?
Mhm.
Okay, so I spent all the time just talking about the ride with GPS. Again, the Pork Belly app is integrated now. So, once you've downloaded the app, you can get to your maps this way. Well, we also added for people that don't want to go deeper into what I think is a great app was with the ride with GPS. We added Google Maps that are live. You have to have internet access. So that's the only limitation. But if you have Google Maps on your phone, we actually have, this is for the campsite. So you're, let's say, a mile outside of the town, you can simply just check this. I've got Google Maps. Of course, yeah. So there's the map, and it is turn by turn live as well.
Yeah, at least you know how far you are.
So that, I just want
Sounds-
people.
Sounds like at least you know how far away you are, even though you have to go by the route that the towns have said, but at least you would kind of know how far away you are, right?
Well, this is the exact map that the town is based on Bob's
Oh,
maps.
okay, okay.
It's just using.
Yeah, no, this is
Great.
literally
Thank you.
Bob's map
Okay.
integrated
perfect.
now, and it's
Yeah.
using Google Maps, which again requires that you have Google Maps on your phone, which about
That's the
80% of us.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it requires internet. And again,
Right.
for anybody who doesn't want to mess with the ride routes, you can do this if you've got internet, and this is turn by turn live based on Bob's maps.
Okay, nice.
Is that option number 7? I'm not sure.
That's
It might be.
Related note.
Yeah.
Related
All
note
right.
there. Related note is that it is possible to save Google Maps for offline use. I don't want to go into how to do that right now, but that might make it so you don't need that connection at the time.
Oh, is that right? Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'll stop sharing. All right.
Other question.
Becca, any more questions of note in the chat?
I don't think so. I think all of them have been answered. There was a question about not related to the routes, but about the availability of wash basins for hand washing laundry. And I just answered that the shower thingy will be available in camp each evening and until 7 in the morning. It can be used for filling water bottles or hand washing laundry. Please don't try and do this in the showers. Let's see. If we take the shuttle on Friday, will we have our bikes in time to ride to the tire dip on early Saturday morning?
That's in fact the only way you'll have your bikes in time to
Yep.
ride to the
Yeah, so that's a good question. If you're taking the east-west shuttle, that would be if you're the Friday shuttle, you would well, we're gonna have 2 trailers that'll go with bikes. So normally we're able to get everybody's Friday bikes over, but what I'm gonna to answer that question specifically, if you are planning on doing the dip on Saturday, make sure you tell the guys loading your bike that it has to go on the Friday shuttle, because I think we're going to get all of them on there, but we for sure want to get the people that intend to do that. So make sure you tell my guys in Guttenberg that you're going to do it. I think they're all going to go. We've got 2 trailers. We can get 200 bikes on a trailer. That's going to pretty much cover everybody that's using that shuttle. So I think they'll all be there, but again, just make sure
Yeah,
you
make sure they know that your bike is a priority because you plan to dip your tire in Orange City.
on some occasions, especially if they're we call them the oddball bikes. If you've got a trike, or we had the guy a couple years ago that had the banana bike, the big banana bike,
or a tandem,
or a big tandem, or recumbents, those sorts of things. We've got a separate trailer that we put those bikes on because they don't pack nicely onto the regular trailers that we load more traditional bikes. And so it is possible if you have one of those bikes that that bike would not come till Saturday. But again, if your intent is to ride on that Saturday, and you're taking a Friday shuttle, just let my guys know that, and they'll figure out a way to get it on there.
Any other questions?
Dan, how far is your route to the tire dip on Saturday?
I
I
believe
want to call it about 50, about a half century round trip.
Round trip, okay.
Yes.
round trip.
Did you say round trip?
Yeah, that is the round trip distance. I'll tell you, I'm not entirely clear on what the shuttle options or what you have set up on that is. So I did it both as a round trip and as a return only.
Are you out? and then you
So
got-
what Daniel's talking about is he's created a route where you could ride your bike from Orange City to the dip site and back. Our understanding is that, and I don't know if it's still available. I know they had some limited
Right.
capacity, but Orange City was allowing people to, I believe they could sign up for, they have different departure times in the morning.
Yeah.
The last one's like 11 or something. It's
Is it?
fairly early
I
something.
didn't know that.
But they will actually take you and your bicycle to the dip site, so you only have to ride back. But my memory of that was that it was 45 miles, but one of us here has our wires crossed. So
Yeah.
because if it were 45 one way, it would be,
And if you go to ragbri.com, and then I think you can click on the Orange City, click on route, and then it'll show you the towns, and you can click on the Orange City tab, takes you to the Orange City website, and I think they have more about the tire dip there and the time frame for all
Yeah.
that.
but just so you know, I believe Orange City's doing what every town does that is not right on the river. They're gonna get a water truck full of river water, and they're gonna bring it out and they're gonna dump it on the road. And when you ride through it, you can say you dipped your tire.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck on having to do that to be.
You don't have to do
You don't
that.
have to do
Yeah.
that. So it's a nice way to.
Yeah, there's something because I know we reconfigured the map route out of town for the Orange City map. There's something around Windmill Park, which is also where all
Right,
the
that's where there's
attractions are.
a trough or something, I think, where you
Yeah,
can-
I thought they said that there was going to be some kind of trough that you could actually dip your bike into.
Yeah. And that's the front tire, is it? No, that's the rear
Back tire.
tire.
Their tire.
Yeah,
Rear
rear
tire.
Tire in Orange
For
City.
sure, don't be trying to read your cue sheets while you're dipping your tire.
It's a trough. Then you can read your cue sheet
Yeah.
while you're dipping. And then you dip your front tire in Guttenberg when you get to the Mississippi River. That's
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, so, okay.
Any other questions, Becca? Anything?
I don't see any in the chat. Does anybody else have one?
So just.
I have-
Looks like Brenda May.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I tried to figure it out, but so sometimes it looks like the parking is close to Lakeside Ballroom, and then other times it looks like 1.25 miles. So how far is the long-term parking from the Lakeside Ballroom or where we have to load our bags
Yeah.
on the buses? So I'm a little not sure.
Okay.
Are the buses that are shuttling us from Gutenberg are to Orange City, are they right there? Are they loading right there from Lakeside?
They are. Yes. they
Okay.
are.
So how far is the long-term park? I'm just trying to figure out if I have to walk 1.25 miles with 2 duffel bags to Lakeside.
No,
or-
here's what happens. You're gonna drive in and drop off those duffel bags and drop off your bicycle, and we will have crew there that are looking after things, and they'll have a place where you can set your things down. And then just on it's like a gravel road or dirt road or something that goes north of Lakeside. And it's not even 1 mile. I mean,
If you parked at it depends on how.
if you got the north parking, and I assume you did, but if you got the north parking, then you're gonna park very close to Lakeside and lock up your car and walk back. And then on the street in front of Lakeside Ballroom, that's where we're gonna be loading bikes, and the buses will be heading out on one of those side streets. You'll be responsible for taking your bags onto the coach, putting them in the luggage compartments under the coach. And our guys will load bags for you,
With bikes.
or bikes for you. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
It'll be easy there. Once you get there, it'll be easy. So you should be able to, the parking is right next to where we're gonna stage the buses and load the bikes. So
Okay.
don't worry about that part of it.
Well, I tried to look one way, it showed it was right there, and then the other way, when I looked it up, it said 1.25 miles, and I'm like, is it right there or is it 1.25 miles?
It's
And
right there.
It's right there.
But
It
for
is.
those of you who missed the north parking lot, then the south parking lot will be maybe more like what we're hearing here. It's further away. I think it's even further than 1.25 miles. So you got to pad your schedule so that you can drop off your things and then go to park the car and then maybe use the town shuttle to shuttle back to our location.
Oh, I'm in north parking. I listened to everything I was told to do, so I do have the north parking.
Oh, good for
Okay,
you. That's great.
you're in good shape then, nothing to worry about.
Okay. Thank you.
So again, just remember if we'll post this online, but at bare minimum, you can take a picture of the map at the front desk and the turn-by-turn directions. That's going to be, you may want to do that every day just in case some of this other stuff doesn't work quite the way you want it to. Maybe for the first few days, even if you're using the ride with GPS, maybe do that as a backup plan just in case something doesn't quite work the way you want it to. But yeah.
But there are lots of ways to find us, and it's just going to be a matter of everybody getting used to the new ways.
Yep.
Any more questions?
Following me is optional. Buying me a
Follow
beer is
Bob.
very
Yeah,
optional,
follow
just for the
Bob.
record.
Yeah, and follow Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dan, I don't know if there's any pressure for us to step up the pace, I mean, or whether,
Don't even think about it. The winner of RWGPS is the last
yeah,
rival.
right. No, it's probably, I don't know, maybe C plus, B minus kind of pace. At least if you're following me.
And it's a good way to end, because I think anybody who's really tech savvy and knows how to use Ride with GPS, I just keep imagining this last stop of the day where somebody stands up from a picnic table and says, "Hey, I'm heading for Pork Belly campsite and I have Ride with GPS." And this group of people says, "Oh, let me throw away my watermelon rind and I'm going to follow you there." So we hope some of that happens, that there's just, besides Bob and Dan, who are good citizens, that there will be other just good citizens who will say, I know how to do this, but there may be others who just are tired and they don't want to get out their map and they just like to follow somebody to camp. So
Trust me, I know where I'm going.
yeah, well, you'd have to trust them. So make sure they're trustworthy. But that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will see you in just over a week. And ready or
A
not?
few things
Yes.
to do,
Yeah.
but we'll be ready.
Yeah,
Hang in there, Tammy.
indeed.
Will do.
Hang in
Thank you, Bob.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
Katie.
you guys.
Daniel.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becca.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Hi.
Good night.
Good night.